The massive screen at Earth's Defense Command Center lit up with urgent red warnings. The deep space sensors had picked up something big, very big. At first, the technicians thought it was a system error, but after triple-checking the readings, they knew this was real. Admiral Thompson stood at the center of the command room, his weathered face illuminated by the glow of dozens of screens. His gray hair and stern expression showed years of preparation for this exact moment. The sensors showed over 300 alien ships moving through the Kuiper Belt, just past Neptune's orbit. "Send the alert to all UEDC members," he ordered, his voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. Within minutes, military and political leaders from around the world connected to the emergency broadcast. The United Earth Defense Council had prepared for this day for 20 years. What started as a secret organization had grown into humanity's shield, hidden from public view, but always watching the stars. "Ladies and gentlemen," Admiral Thompson addressed the council members on the screen, "the day we've been preparing for has arrived. Alien Contact Protocol Alpha is now in effect." The council members remained silent. They had run this scenario in simulations hundreds of times, but this was real. Earth's fate hung in the balance. "Begin activation of the planetary defense grid," Thompson commanded. His order set off a chain of events across the globe. Deep beneath the oceans, massive structures began to rise. Hidden bunkers in mountains opened to reveal advanced weapon systems. In orbit, hundreds of satellites suddenly transformed, revealing their true military nature. Earth was shedding its peaceful disguise. In the Atacama Desert, enormous doors ground open in the dusty earth, revealing a massive energy cannon that had been hidden for years. Similar installations activated in the Sahara, the Australian outback, and the Siberian wilderness. Each one represented decades of secret technological development. The aliens wouldn't see a primitive planet waiting to be conquered. They would face a unified human race that had spent years preparing for this confrontation. "Defense grid at 60% and rising," reported Lieutenant Brown from his station. "All systems showing green status." Admiral Thompson nodded. "Prepare the message package. Let's show them exactly what they're dealing with." The message wasn't just words. As the defense grid powered up, Earth deliberately leaked specific energy signatures. Let the aliens detect their quantum shields. Let them see the power readings from the planetary defense network. Let them know that humanity wasn't helpless. "Sir," called out Lieutenant Brown, "the alien fleet has crossed the Neptune orbital line. They're maintaining their course toward Earth." "Perfect," Thompson said. "Time for their first lesson about humanity." He pressed a button on his command console, activating a communication link to the approaching fleet. The message was broadcast in every known alien language they had decoded from stolen transmissions over the years. "Attention approaching fleet. This is Earth's Defense Command. You have entered a protected solar system. We have monitored your kind for decades. We know your intentions. We know your tactics. And we are prepared." Thompson paused, letting the words sink in. Then he gave the order that would change everything. "Weapons station. Target the smallest ship in their scout group. Show them what a warning shot looks like." High above the Earth, a hidden platform emerged from its stealth field. A beam of concentrated energy shot out, crossing the vast distance to the alien fleet in seconds. The targeted scout ship's shields flared brilliant blue, then failed completely. The ship itself remained intact, but powerless, drifting in space. "Message sent," Thompson said with grim satisfaction. "Now we wait for their response." The command center fell silent as they watched the alien fleet's reaction. Several ships moved to rescue their disabled companion. Others adjusted their formation into a defensive pattern. They hadn't expected this level of resistance. "Sir," Lieutenant Brown called out, "we're detecting communications between their ships. A lot of communications." Thompson allowed himself a small smile. "Good. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Let them realize that they're not dealing with simple prey." The first move had been made. Humanity had revealed its hand, at least part of it. Now the real game would begin. And Earth was holding cards the aliens didn't even know existed. 20 years earlier, a small research station in Antarctica picked up something unusual. Dr. Thomas Grant was reviewing data from the Deep Space Radio Telescope when he noticed a signal that didn't match any known pattern. At first, he thought it was just space debris, but this object was changing direction. "This isn't natural," he had told his team that cold morning. "Whatever it is, it's being controlled." Within hours, military vehicles had surrounded the station. Colonel Rebecca Walker stepped out of a black helicopter, her boots crunching in the snow. She had been waiting for this moment her entire career. The object turned out to be an alien probe, designed to look like a normal asteroid. But it carried weapons, surveillance equipment, and detailed maps of Earth's defenses, or what the aliens could see of them. "They're scouting us," Colonel Walker had explained to the world leaders gathered in a secret bunker beneath Geneva. "And they're not alone. We found evidence of at least 3 other probes in the last decade. They're preparing for invasion." That meeting changed everything. For the first time in human history, all major nations agreed on a single goal: survival. The United Earth Defense Council was born that day, hidden from the public to prevent panic. Dr. Grant led the technical team that studied the alien probe. "Their technology isn't magic," he explained to the council. "Different, yes, but not unbeatable. We can learn from this. We can prepare." And prepare they did. Underground cities were built in secret, deep beneath the mountains and oceans. These weren't just bunkers. They were fully functioning communities where millions could live if the surface became dangerous. Colonel Walker oversaw the creation of the Special Warfare Division. They didn't just train soldiers. They created warriors who understood alien technology, tactics, and biology. Every piece of information from the probe was turned into an advantage. "We're not fighting the last war," Walker told her troops. "We're preparing for the next one." The biggest challenge was keeping everything hidden. The world's governments agreed that panic would be their worst enemy. So they built in plain sight. Every new shopping mall might have a military base beneath it. Every new satellite launch carried hidden weapons. Even the International Space Station was just a cover for a massive military installation. 10 years after finding the probe, humanity had its first successful test of reverse-engineered alien technology. Dr. Grant's team had cracked the secret of their quantum shields, but instead of copying the alien design, they'd made it better. "The aliens think they're advanced," Dr. Grant told the council, showing them test results. "But they've gotten comfortable. They haven't had real competition in thousands of years. We're doing in decades what took them centuries." The orbital defense platforms came next. They used the aliens' own stealth technology against them, hiding in plain sight. Each one could disable or destroy ships many times its size. Colonel Walker's special forces trained constantly, using simulations based on data from the probe. They learned to think like aliens, to fight like aliens, and most importantly, to beat aliens. "Every species has weaknesses," she explained during a briefing. "Even the strongest alien armor has gaps. Every shield has a frequency that can break it. We just had to find them." The council kept everything hidden through careful planning. When people noticed strange lights in the sky, they blamed weather balloons. When someone spotted construction in remote areas, they called it environmental research. The truth stayed buried, waiting for the right moment. Now, 20 years later, watching the alien fleet approach, Colonel Walker stood in the command center next to Admiral Thompson. The room was filled with the world's best soldiers, scientists, and leaders, all working together, all prepared. "Hard to believe it's been 20 years, Walker said, checking the latest defense grid readings. 20 years well spent," Thompson replied. "They think they're hunting us. They don't realize we've been hunting them." On screens around the room, more alien ships appeared. The invasion they had prepared for was finally beginning. But Earth wasn't the same planet the aliens had scouted all those years ago. This time, Humanity wasn't just ready for a fight. They were ready to win. The alien fleet's response came 3 hours after Earth's warning shot. The main screen in the command center lit up with an image that made several technicians step back. The alien High Commander filled the screen, its gray skin and multiple eyes, a clear sign of its non-human origin. Primitive creatures, the High Commander spoke through a translation system. Your resistance is noted, but futile. We have conquered 1,000 worlds. Your single demonstration means nothing. Surrender now, and we will make your slavery painless. Admiral Thompson stood calmly, hands behind his back. He had expected this response. 20 years of studying alien communications had taught them one thing. These creatures always underestimated humans. High Commander, Thompson replied, his voice steady. I believe you misunderstand the situation. That wasn't a demonstration of our power. It was a courtesy call. Colonel Walker, standing at her combat station, smiled. The aliens had no idea what was coming next. Her Special Forces teams were already in position, hidden in bases across the solar system. The High Commander's multiple eyes blinked in what they had learned was a sign of anger. You dare mock us? Our smallest ship could destroy your largest city. Our fleet carries enough firepower to turn your oceans to steam. Perhaps a clearer demonstration is needed, Thompson said. He nodded to Lieutenant Brown. Show them what happens when they threaten our planet. From a hidden base on Mars, 3 human ships emerged from their underground hangars. They were smaller than the alien vessels, but moved with incredible speed. Before the alien fleet could react, the ships had disabled 5 more of their scouts. Impossible, the High Commander roared. Your species hasn't even reached your 4th planet. That's what we wanted you to think, Thompson replied. Would you like to see what else we've been hiding? The High Commander's response was immediate. 20 alien warships broke formation, heading straight for Earth. Their weapons charged, creating an eerie purple glow in space. They've taken the bait, Colonel Walker reported. All units in position. The alien ships fired their weapons. Massive energy beams headed straight for Earth's major cities. For a moment, the High Commander's face showed satisfaction, until the beams hit Earth's quantum shields. The shields didn't just block the attacks, they absorbed them. Each impact made the shields stronger, using the aliens' own energy against them. This was Dr. Grant's greatest achievement, turning their enemy's strength into a weakness. Impossible, the High Commander shouted again. Those are quantum shields. You can't have quantum shields. We've had 20 years to prepare, Thompson explained calmly. We found your probe. We studied it. We improved upon it. Would you like to see how much we've learned? At his signal, Earth's orbital defense platforms revealed themselves. Hundreds of weapons platforms, all using advanced technology that matched or exceeded the alien fleet's capabilities. Each one targeted a different alien ship. The High Commander's gray skin turned pale. This is not possible. You were supposed to be primitive. Easy to conquer. Our scouts. Your scouts saw what we wanted them to see. Colonel Walker cut in. We've been watching you for decades. Learning. Preparing. Earth isn't your next conquest, High Commander. It's your worst nightmare. To prove her point, Walker activated the defense grid's secondary systems. Massive energy readings appeared all across Earth's surface. Hidden bases became visible. The true extent of humanity's preparation was finally revealed. The alien ships began to pull back, forming defensive positions. Their confident attack had turned into confused retreat. For the first time in their history of conquest, they faced a species that had anticipated their every move. Your choices are simple, Thompson declared. Retreat immediately, or face the consequences of threatening Earth. We won't give you another warning. The High Commander's image flickered as their ships began emergency maneuvers. The mighty alien fleet, which had expected an easy victory, now faced a fully prepared and technologically advanced human race. This isn't over, the High Commander growled before cutting the transmission. Admiral Thompson looked at Colonel Walker. "No," he said quietly. "It's just beginning. Alert all commands. Full combat readiness. They won't retreat without a fight." Earth's forces stood ready. The real battle was about to begin. The alien fleet's next move surprised everyone in Earth's command center. Instead of attacking, they sent a new message. This time, a different alien appeared on the screen, one with smoother features and a more pleasant voice. "Dear friends on Earth," the new alien spoke softly. "There has been a terrible misunderstanding. We are peaceful explorers, seeking only to share our knowledge with developing worlds." Admiral Thompson looked at Colonel Walker and Dr. Grant. They had studied this tactic before. It was in the probe's database. When force failed, the aliens would try deception. "Really?" Thompson replied. "Then perhaps you can explain what happened to the civilization on Proxima Centauri b." The aliens' smooth features twitched. They hadn't expected humans to know about that. Earth's secret deep space monitoring stations had watched the aliens destroy an entire civilization just 4 years ago. "We don't know what you mean," the alien said, but its voice had lost its friendly tone. Dr. Grant stepped forward, holding a data tablet. "Let me refresh your memory. 6 months ago, your fleet approached their world. You offered peace, just like now. Then you released a biological weapon that killed half their population. The survivors became your slaves." The command center fell silent. The alien's face showed shock, not at the accusation, but at how much humans knew. "Your probe told us everything," Thompson continued. "We know about the biological weapons hidden in your peace ships. We know about the slave colonies you've built across 12 star systems. We even know about your fleet's main weakness. The central command ship can't function in quantum fields." The alien diplomat's image vanished, replaced again by the angry high commander. "How dare you?" Those records were encrypted. 20 years is a long time to crack codes, Dr. Grant said with a slight smile. "Your encryption was good, but human creativity is better. Would you like to know what else we learned from your probe?" The High Commander's response was cut short by urgent alerts from their fleet. 3 of their ships had suddenly lost power, disabled by hidden quantum field generators that Earth had placed throughout the solar system. "Impossible," the High Commander shouted. "Those are protected frequencies. You couldn't possibly know them." Colonel Walker stepped forward. "We don't just know your frequencies. We've improved them. Everything you think is your advantage is actually our trap. Those peace ships carrying biological weapons, already neutralized. Your slave control signals, blocked. Your fleet's command structure. We've been disrupting it for the past hour." The alien fleet began to move erratically. Without their central command ship's coordination, their formation was breaking apart. Earth's defense systems had turned their greatest strength, their unified command structure, into their greatest weakness. "You're lying," the High Commander snarled. "No primitive species could do this." "That's your problem," Thompson replied calmly. "You think we're primitive because we chose to appear that way. While you watched our old television signals and outdated satellites, we were studying you, learning you, preparing for you." Dr. Grant activated another system, showing holographic displays of the alien fleet's weak points. "Your ships use 3rd-generation quantum drives. We're already testing 4th generation. Your neural networks are basic compared to our AI systems. Even your weapons are predictable, designed to fight enemies who don't understand them." The High Commander's rage was visible now. Their entire strategy had backfired. The easy conquest they expected had turned into a tactical nightmare. "You should have done more research," Colonel Walker added. "Humans have one trait your species never understood. We learn from our mistakes. Every time you conquered a world, we watched and prepared. Every weakness you exploited, we fixed. Every strength you relied on, we learned to counter." The alien fleet was in chaos now. Their ships moved in different directions, trying to regroup without their central command. Earth's defense grid tracked every movement, ready to disable any ship that showed hostile intent. "Here's your choice," Thompson declared. "Retreat now, or we'll demonstrate just how much we've actually learned from your probe. And believe me, you won't like what comes next." The High Commander's image flickered as their communication system struggled against Earth's interference. Their perfect plan of conquest had just met humanity's perfect plan of defense. And this was only the beginning. The High Commander finally did what cornered predators always do. It attacked. A massive wave of alien ships surged forward, weapons blazing against Earth's defenses. "All stations, battle positions," Admiral Thompson ordered calmly. After 20 years of preparation, the real test had begun. The first wave of alien attacks hit Earth's outer defense grid. Energy beams and plasma torpedoes streaked through space, lighting up the night sky. People on Earth's surface looked up, seeing what looked like new stars being born. "Shields holding at 98%, Lieutenant Brown reported. "The alien weapons are exactly as weak as we predicted." Colonel Walker watched from her tactical station as the battle unfolded. "Launch fighters, pattern Delta," she commanded. Hidden bases on the moon opened, releasing swarms of Earth's new combat ships. These weren't the clumsy rockets the aliens expected. Each fighter carried AI systems more advanced than anything the aliens had. The small ships moved impossibly fast, darting between the larger alien vessels, hitting weak points that only Earth knew about. "How?" The High Commander's voice boomed through the command channel. "Those ships move like water. No species has such control." "You forgot something important about humans," Dr. Grant replied while monitoring the battle data. "We love to play games. Those pilots trained in virtual reality for 15 years. They fought this battle 1,000,000 times before today." The alien fleet's second wave moved forward, trying a different tactic. They launched what looked like missiles, but Earth's sensors detected the truth. Biological weapons designed to destroy all life on the planet. "Activating countermeasure Grid B," Thompson ordered. Hidden satellites came to life, catching the biological weapons in quantum fields. Dr. Grant's team had designed these defenses specifically for this moment. The weapons didn't just stop, they dissolved into harmless particles. "Impossible." An alien officer screamed over the channel. "Those defenses weren't here last week." "They were always here," Colonel Walker answered. "You just couldn't see them. Just like you can't see what's about to happen next." At her signal, bases across Mars lit up. The red planet hadn't been abandoned as the aliens thought. Instead, it had become humanity's forward base. Massive cannons emerged from the Martian soil, targeting the alien fleet's supply ships. The battle in space became chaos, but it was controlled chaos, exactly as Earth had planned. Human fighters danced between alien ships, causing confusion. The aliens couldn't coordinate their attacks because Earth was blocking their command signals. Their mighty fleet had become a crowd of individual ships, each fighting alone. "Sir," Lieutenant Brown called out, "they're bringing up their superweapon, the Planet Killer." Thompson nodded. They had expected this too. The Planet Killer was the aliens' last resort, a massive ship that could crack a world in half. It emerged from the back of their fleet, its main cannon glowing with enough power to destroy Earth. "Now, Dr. Grant," Thompson ordered. Dr. Grant pressed a sequence of commands. Suddenly, every human ship pulled back. The aliens, thinking they had won, fired their Planet Killer. The massive energy beam shot toward Earth. For a moment, it looked like the end. But then something amazing happened. Earth's quantum shields didn't just block the beam. They caught it. Dr. Grant's greatest invention activated, the energy recycling system. The Planet Killer's beam was absorbed, channeled through hidden relays around the planet, and redirected. The aliens watched in horror as their own weapons' energy was turned back against them, not as a single beam, but as thousands of smaller shots. Each blast hit with surgical precision, disabling but not destroying their ships. "That's enough demonstration," Thompson announced to the alien fleet. "Your Planet Killer is useless. Your biological weapons can't reach us. Your shields don't work against our weapons. Do you want to see what else we've prepared?" The alien ships started pulling back, their formation completely broken. The mighty fleet that had conquered 1,000 worlds was now retreating from Earth's defenses. But Admiral Thompson, Colonel Walker, and Dr. Grant knew this wasn't over. The real battle was just beginning, and humanity had only shown a fraction of its true strength. "Time for Phase 2, Admiral Thompson announced. The command center burst into activity. After successfully defending Earth, it was time to show the aliens why humans were never meant to be prey. Colonel Walker activated her tactical display. "Special Forces teams are in position. Permission to begin Operation Shadow Strike." Thompson nodded. Across the solar system, hidden human ships emerged from stealth fields. Unlike the defensive forces, these ships were built for one purpose: attack. "You want to see humanity's real power," Thompson broadcast to the retreating alien fleet. "Watch carefully." The first wave of Earth's counterattack moved faster than the aliens could track. Using improved versions of the aliens' own quantum drive technology, human ships seemed to teleport between points in space. One moment the alien fleet thought they were safe. The next, Earth's ships were among them. "Teams Alpha through Delta, begin infiltration," Colonel Walker commanded. Her special forces had trained for this moment for a decade. Each soldier wore advanced battle suits that made them nearly invisible. The High Commander's voice crackled over the communication system, showing fear for the first time. "How are they inside our shields?" "This is impossible. You should have studied Earth's history better," Dr. Grant replied while monitoring the operation. "Humans have always been good at getting past defenses. We learned from the best, Earth's own predators." Special Forces teams emerged inside 20 alien ships at once. Their suits, designed from studying the alien probe's stealth technology, let them pass through the alien shields as if they weren't there. Main control room secured, Team Leader Adams reported from inside the alien flagship. "You should see this, Command. Their technology looks advanced, but it's actually quite old. They haven't improved it in centuries." The alien crews found themselves fighting an enemy they couldn't see or stop. Earth's soldiers moved like ghosts through their ships, disabling key systems and capturing command centers. Years of training in virtual simulations made every movement perfect. "Sir," Lieutenant Brown called out, "the alien fleet is trying to send a distress signal to their homeworld." "Let them," Thompson replied with a slight smile. "It's time the rest of the galaxy learned about us." On the main screen, they watched as more alien ships were captured. Earth's forces didn't destroy them. They disabled and captured them instead. Each seized ship provided more information about alien technology and tactics. Colonel Walker's teams reached the flagship's main engine room. "Quantum core secured," she reported. "Dr. Grant, you're going to love this. Their power systems are exactly like the ones in the probe, just bigger." "Of course they are," Dr. Grant said, checking the data flowing in. "They stopped innovating long ago. They thought they were the peak of evolution. That's why they never saw us coming." The High Commander's image appeared one last time on the command screen. Behind him, human soldiers in advanced battle suits were already taking control of his bridge. What are you going to do with us?" the High Commander asked, his earlier arrogance replaced by fear. Admiral Thompson stood tall. "We're going to teach you something important. Humanity isn't interested in conquest or slavery. We're going to let your crews live. We'll even let them return home. But first, they're going to watch us take apart their ships, learn their technology, and improve it." "You can't do this. Our technology is sacred." "Technology isn't sacred," Dr. Grant cut in. "It's meant to be improved. That's something humanity understands that you forgot long ago." Within hours, the battle was over. Earth's forces had captured over half the alien fleet. The rest had retreated, carrying news of their defeat back to their empire. Humanity's special forces had suffered 0 casualties. "Begin Phase 3, Thompson ordered as the last alien ships fled. It's time to show the galaxy that humanity isn't just ready to defend itself. We're ready to protect others too. Earth's fleet began to move out into the solar system, preparing for what would come next. The aliens would return, probably with a bigger fleet. But now they, and soon the rest of the galaxy, would know that humanity had never been helpless. They had just been waiting for the right moment to show their true strength. 1 week after the battle, Admiral Thompson stood before the United Earth Defense Council. The room was packed with leaders from every nation. On screens around them, they could see the captured alien ships being studied in orbit. "It's time for the final phase," Thompson announced. "We need to send a message that the entire galaxy will hear." Dr. Grant stepped forward with his tablet. "We've already decoded their long-range communication network. We can broadcast to every spacefaring civilization they know about." "Good," Thompson nodded. "Colonel Walker, are the demonstration teams ready?" Colonel Walker smiled from her position near the main screen. "All teams are in position, sir. The aliens won't believe what they're about to see." They had chosen this moment carefully. Using the captured alien ship's technology, Earth could now broadcast its message across thousands of light years. Every advanced civilization would witness humanity's demonstration of power. "Begin transmission," Thompson ordered. The broadcast started with images of the recent battle, Earth's defensive grid activating, human ships emerging from hidden bases, and special forces capturing alien vessels. But that was just the beginning. "To all species watching," Thompson spoke clearly, his words being translated into hundreds of alien languages, "let this serve as humanity's first and final warning." The screens showed Earth's true power. Hidden bases on every planet and moon in the solar system became visible. Quantum shield generators larger than cities emerged from gas giants. Defensive platforms appeared around every planet. "For centuries, you thought Earth was isolated because we were primitive," Thompson continued. "You were wrong. We isolated ourselves to prepare. Every probe you sent, we captured and studied. Every transmission you made, we decoded. Every weakness you had, we learned to exploit." Dr. Grant activated the next phase of the demonstration. Several captured alien ships began to power up, but their systems now ran on improved human technology. They moved faster, hit harder, and had stronger shields than their original designs. "In just 20 years, we took your most advanced technology and made it better," Dr. Grant explained to the watching galaxy. "Imagine what we'll do with 20 more." Colonel Walker's teams demonstrated Earth's military power next. Special Forces units in advanced battle suits moved through solid matter using quantum phase technology. Weapons that could disable entire fleets without destroying them. Defense systems that could absorb and redirect any attack. "We are not your enemies," Thompson assured the watching civilizations. "We don't want conquest or war. But from this day forward, Earth is taking on a new role. We will be the defenders of peace in this galaxy." The screen showed images of the alien worlds they had watched being conquered and enslaved over the years. "To those who have been conquered, enslaved, or live in fear, help is coming. Humanity will not stand by while stronger species prey on the weak." The High Commander, now in Earth's custody, watched in shock as human ships began freeing slave worlds across the galaxy. The ships moved impossibly fast, using improved quantum drives, appearing wherever they were needed. "This is humanity's warning," Thompson declared. "Any species that tries to conquer another will face Earth's forces. Any civilization that uses slavery will be freed. The age of the strong preying on the weak is over." To prove his point, he revealed humanity's greatest achievement: a network of quantum tunnels connecting distant parts of the galaxy. Earth could now reach any world in minutes, ready to defend those in need. "We could have used this power for conquest," Thompson concluded. "Instead, we choose to use it for protection. Remember this day. Remember this warning. And remember that Earth is watching." The transmission ended, but its effect on the galaxy was just beginning. Across thousands of worlds, alien civilizations realized that everything had changed. The isolated planet they had dismissed as primitive had become the galaxy's guardian. Admiral Thompson looked at Colonel Walker and Dr. Grant. Together, they had helped transform humanity from potential victims into protectors of the weak. Earth was no longer alone in the galaxy. And now, no other peaceful species would be either. "Send the order to all ships," Thompson said quietly. "Operation Guardian has begun." Earth's forces moved out into the galaxy, ready to defend any world that needed help. The age of alien conquest was over. The age of human protection had begun.